So Florida gets blown out 30-3, I believe. That's ridiculous to a Pac-12 team. So the SEC starts out 0-1 in bowl games this season. I think we started out bad last season as well, but ended up finishing strong. At least from what I can remember. Maybe we didn't, but SEC is 0-1 as of right now. As of right now in the bowl games, Florida goes in there and gets blown out by a Pac-12 team. Oregon State, honestly, was just a better team. They would have won. They were favored before the opt-outs even were announced, right? And then once Florida started having all these players opt out, Anthony Richardson, maybe a few more, that's when the spread went up a lot more. I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus. But so Oregon State was favored before the opt-outs even were announced, so that speaks for itself. Oregon State was just the better team. They probably would have won that game anyway. But then when Florida throws in someone like Jack Miller to start as quarterback, you were setting yourself up for failure there, and you got what you wanted, got what you asked for. 30-3, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was 30-3. Oregon State takes the win there with the blowout. So shout out to Oregon State. They had a really good season this year, right? They kept it. They competed with who was it? Southern Cal, USC. They kept it close there. Almost won that game. Probably should have won that game. Came back and beat Oregon from I don't remember how big the deficit was, but they came back and won that game. And they were getting beat big at one point. It was the last game. That's right. So Oregon State did come back and beat Oregon. So they were favored coming in this game, whether there was opt-outs or not from Florida. So shout out to Oregon State. And SEC starts out 0-1 in bowl games. We'll see if we can pick it up from there. Let's hope so, right? We claim to be the best conference in football. Well, we got to prove it, right? Getting blown out by Pac-12 teams, that's not doing us any good, Florida. So shout out to Oregon State. Billy Napier, finished 6-7 in his first season at Florida. So, yeah, man. So Billy Napier finishes 6-7 in his first season at Florida. Very disappointing. I'm not sure if Florida fans expected that. If Florida themselves expected that, I'm not sure. Struggled to make a bowl game, and then couldn't even come close to winning the bowl game. Instead, they got blown out. But either way, once again, shout out Oregon State. I guess shout out for Florida for competing, right? They could have just forfeited the game. They showed up, so I guess respect to them. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Hopefully, I'm hoping the SEC can show up and prove why we're the best conference in football.